What is going on, Pokemoshpitbeta? This is Strator here, bringing you guys my second upload to this channel. It is a Clear Skies OU match against my good friend smashbr0spro33. And looking at the team preview, I'm using Defensive Donphan, Choice Specs Latios, Utility Celebi, Choice Scarf, Moxie Gyarados, Genesect, which is Choice Scarf, and I'm using Mixape. As for my opponent, he's running Gliscor and Fernape, Quagsire, which is different, but if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Conkeldurr, Genesect, and Kyurem. So with that being said, let's get on to the battle. Alright, so I'm going to start this battle by leading off with my Donphan, because he's my Stealth Rock setter-upper, if that's what you want to call him. And he's going to lead off with his Gliscor, and I decided to go for Rocks first turn because it's Rocks, but that was kind of predictable, and he goes for the taunt, and I was just like, shit, I can't do anything, so now I have to switch out because my Donphan cannot touch this Gliscor whatsoever. So I'm going to go ahead, just go into my Latios, and he's going to go for his own Rocks, so now he's got Rocks on my side, and that kind of sucks for me. So he's going to withdraw here, expecting me to go for a Draco, and I did go for a Draco here. And he goes into his Genesect, gets download boost. I missed a Draco and I was like, are you kidding me? This sucks. So now I really know that Draco Meteor can't do anything to him, so I'm going to have to switch out to my Infernape here as he sets up the Rock Polish. And that tells me right there that he is not the Choice Scarf set. So I decided to go for a Mach Punch here, knowing that I'm not going to be able to outspeed it. But instead of going for a Thunderbolt, he goes for a U-turn here, which made no sense. But I don't know, but he decides to go for the U-turn. Like I said, he goes out to his own Infernape, and here I thought I could maybe win the speed tie, but I didn't, and he goes for his own close combat, and he's able to take out my Infernape, so that kind of sucks, because now I don't have a fire type that will threaten his Genesect. So now I'm going to go into my Donphan again. I know that it can wall his Infernape, so he's going to go switch into his Quagsire as I set up my own Stealth Rocks, which are finally up, which makes me pretty happy. I don't know, pretty happy guy. Tongue twister. So he goes out to his Kyurem here. I'm not sure why he switched out, because his Quagsire is a major threat to my Donphan, but I decided to go for a Toxic here so I could cripple his Quagsire, but instead the Kyurem gets Toxic, so I guess that works out too. So he goes for a Substitute here as I go for a Rapid Spin to get rid of the Rocks on my side of the field, and he's still behind that Substitute, so that kind of sucks. So now that I know he's probably going to go for an Ice Beam and try and take out this Donphan, I'm going to go ahead and switch into my Genesect here, and I do get the download boost for special attack, which is pretty awesome. And he does go for the Ice Beam, and that ain't going to do a lot to me because of Steel Resistance and all that. And I decided, instead of going for a Flamethrower just to break his sub or something, I go for a U-turn, which also breaks his sub, and I also get Switch Initiative into my Gyarados, which can probably wall his Kyurem, and I knew he would either go for an Earth Power or an HP Fire. He reveals that he has the Earth Power, which works well on my part, because that ain't gonna do any damage to my Gyarados. So I decided to go for a Waterfall here. I know I could take out that Kyurem, so yeah, that's a dead Kyurem. And now I get a Moxie boost, that's pretty nice. So he goes out to his Conkeldurr here, I go for a Waterfall, and I hoped that I could take out the Conkeldurr, but instead I didn't. I left him around 40% health. He goes for a Thunder Punch, and that's going to take out my Gyarados. I didn't see any Life Orb or leftovers, so that tells me he's probably Choice. So I decided to switch out to my Donphan here, and then I decided to double switch out because maybe I thought he would go into Gliscor, predicted me to go for an Earthquake. So I went out to my Latios, but instead he went into his Quagsire, which kind of works because now I go for the Trick, which is going to cripple his Quagsire, because now he is locked into Choice Specs, and he's going to be locked into Stockpile, and that's really not going to benefit him whatsoever. But instead of switching out here, he decided to stay in. I don't know why. Maybe he wanted to see what I would do, so I went for Surf because that's kind of a neutral damage on his Quagsire, and that can hit almost everything on his team for pretty decent amount of damage. And he goes out to his Genesect here, gets the download boost for attack. I don't really care. I go for a Surf here. I thought maybe I could take out his Genesect, but he lives with just a smidgen of health. So I decided to just take him out with a Psyshock because I knew that I would be faster because he is not the Choice Scarf set. But now he switches out to his Infernape, and he is faster than my Latios, so that reveals to me that he is a Choice Scarf set, which is kind of different. So he U-turns and doesn't kill my Latios, which is good. He goes out to his Gliscor. I go for the Surf here, and I do a nice amount of health damage, but I don't kill the Gliscor, so I'm going to have to go for another Surf to take out his Gliscor. So that'll be the end of his Gliscor with this second Surf. So now he's going to have to either switch into his Infernape, or he's going to have to switch into his Conkeldurr. In this case, he decides to go to Infernape and try and U-turn kill me, but I decided to go out to my Genesect here, predicting that, so that was a pretty good play on my part, because now my Latios is able to take at least one more hit from that Infernape. So he decided to switch out here, go into his Quagsire, which is still Choice Locked, and I went for an Ice Beam here just because it's the best move I can do against this Quagsire, as he goes for a Scald, and a Choice Spec Scald actually did a lot to me, but then again he did get a crit. I don't think that mattered though, because a Choice Spec Scald is going to hit me hard, so I decided to go for a Surf here, and I do manage to take out the Quagsire, which is pretty good because now all he does have is his Infernape and his Conkeldurr. So now he goes for the U-turn. I knew I could at least take it, and I do with 10 HP, and that's really good for me. So now he's going to have to go out to his Conkeldurr here, and I decided to go for a Psyshock because that's the best play I can do right now, and the Psyshock is able to take out the Conkeldurr. So now all that remains on his team is his Infernape, so he's really in a bad position right now, and his best move to go for, because I still have the Celebi left, is Flare Blitz. So now he's going to be able to take out my Latios as I switch into my Donphan here, and this is kind of weird. He goes for the Flare Blitz here, and not only does he get a critical hit, but he also gets to burn, and that was kind of hacksy, but in the long run it's not going to matter here, is with the recoil from the Flare Blitz and the Earthquake, that's going to be able to take out his Infernape, and that will be the match. So that'll be GG, Zach, smashbr0spro33. Link will be in the description, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy that battle. If you did, be sure to check out my channel. Leave a subscription if you want. I don't know. Check it out. See my content. And that'll be all for today, guys. This is Strato signing out, and ciao.